I'm so grateful for the time that I got to spend with Adam, even though I only knew him for a year. But even in a short time, I could tell how much he cared for and loved everyone in his life. He was cynical about the world, but loved and fought for everyone in it. I'm jealous of people who got to know him for longer, and I feel like our time was cut too short. But I'm forever grateful that I got to see his face light up when we moved his first boxes into his new apartment. And for the one time he made obscenely spicy jambalaya for some of us, and we sat on the floor because the only furniture he had so far was his bed and an office chair. I'm so grateful for the late nights of dancing on booths at 3 a.m. and closing down Cheesies, and our late night drinks at the bars too. One of my favorite things to do now, when I'm out in Chicago, is go to the bars that Adam and Rachel and I used to close out together and ask the workers if they remember me. Most of the times they say no. Then I say, I used to come in here with Adam all the time. And then they say, oh yeah, with a smile when they remember Adam. Adam was the best part of my week for a year, and I just miss his bear hug so much.
My name is Brett Peterson, and I met Adam in 2017, shortly after we both started working at the Second City. One of my favorite stories with Adam was the time that I severely cut my finger open. Adam kept me calm the entire time. He held my hand. He came over every single day before work for a week to change my Band-Aids and to make sure that I was okay and that the wound was healing correctly. He knew that I didn't have the money to go to the ER for stitches when it happened. And he kept telling me that I wouldn't need the stitches as he was using a bottle of liquid bandage to piece my finger back together. And after it had started to fully heal, he casually let it drop that I definitely should have gone for stitches, but all it would have done was made the scar smaller. And now I think of him when I look down at my left hand and I see that big long line running down my left pointer finger.
Adam is missed so dearly, but he's such a rare and special person that he truly lives forever in all of our hearts. Some of my favorite things, my favorite memories with him are just the belly laughs. The stories are endless. You know, everybody has a good story with him. Every challenge, every stress could turn into the funniest thing we've ever experienced. He was really just such a good friend in that way. He was never anyone but himself. You know, most of us put masks on and we present different versions of ourselves. Adam was Adam no matter who was around. And he did not care if he ruffled feathers. I love that about him. He loved deeply and is deeply loved. And I'm very happy and blessed to have known him in this lifetime.
It is so difficult to pick one thing about Adam that I loved. There are simply too many. But I think something that stuck out to me was every single shift we worked together. He would come up to the kitchen, he'd get some food, and he'd come over and he'd check on me, and he'd give me the warmest, biggest hug I had had that entire day. Every time I saw him, he gave me the warmest, biggest hug. I miss his hugs.
Hi. One of my favorite things about Adam was always his ability to make people laugh and smile. He was always so happy, always willing to help. He was a great volunteer. He's a very caring individual, and his joy was contagious. I absolutely loved his fluffy red hair, and I think everybody did. And I definitely miss him, but I will never forget his joy, his contagious joy, and his caring and loving attitude that he had every single day.
Before Adam moved to Chicago, he came to visit for a little bit just to look at neighborhoods and stuff. And honestly, for us to just meet for real for the first time, we had only texted about being roommates up to that point. Even though Adam didn't live in the city yet, he somehow instinctively was the one leading us all through Chicago. Like he knew it like the back of his hand. And he was taking us to all the right train stations where we needed to go, to all the sites that he thought we should see. And then we ended the night at Navy Pier, and we got to watch the fireworks over Lake Michigan. And I remember it was so crowded, and I felt lost, but Adam just led us all around the crowd, and he found a quiet part of the river for us to just wait it out. And we just sat by these boats for an hour, and we just talked about all the things we were going to do when we were living together in the city. And I just remember I was worried, but at that moment I felt so safe. And I'm so thankful for that night. I miss Adam so much, but it helps when I get to see all the love he continues to pour out into the world.
Adam lived by his own rules. He lived life on his terms. It was like, he always wanted to stand up for the men that had no voice. And he did. Very smart, very sharp, very intuitive, but a gentle giant. Definitely a gentle giant. And can't go wrong with that. His kindness was genuine. That's one thing I love about him is when I walk away, I wasn't worried about it. Because whatever he had to say to you, he said to you right then and there. And that's a rare quality. I hope you all keep him in a positive light in the long hills.
When I was a kid, I thought Adam was the coolest guy to ever walk this earth, and I wanted to be just like him. Now that he's gone, I've realized that feeling never went away, and he still is and always will be my hero. Still to this day, I catch myself looking at old pictures and think, damn, this guy looks so cool. I mean, just look at this picture of him driving his Mini Cooper around town. He was iconic. The story I want to share today, though, is the last time I ever saw my brother. We didn't know it would be the last time, but I couldn't imagine a better way to say goodbye. Adam was in Tupelo to celebrate Christmas, and he was a month late for that, by the way. And we decided to get tattoos of each other's names. If I were Adam, I would consider asking for a refund, because his tattoo kind of faded away during the cremation process. But mine is still here, and in some small way, I feel that it helps me keep him close and carry him with me wherever I go. Thanks, Adam.
There are many things that I miss about Adam. I miss how he was always so welcoming. I miss the hours that we would spend giggling together. I loved his passion for making the world a better place, and I miss his willingness to help others. I miss the many phone calls and video chats that we would have, talking about nothing and everything going on in our lives. I miss his brutal honesty and his countless opinions. I miss his fluffy red hair. And I miss his bear hugs. I will always love Adam for who he was, and I miss him dearly.
Adam was just a force of nature. He really is like no one else I've ever met and will likely ever meet. We were drawn to each other pretty immediately, and I'm so lucky to have known him and loved him. I will miss his wit, smile, tenacity, wisdom, and freckles for the rest of my life. I will miss his texts asking me if I've seen the snow. I will miss the clacking of his nails and the tightness of his hugs. I will miss sitting on the couch with him. The list is endless. He is one of the best friends I will ever have in my entire life. I love you forever, and I miss you even longer. Thank you for loving me.
I have hundreds of beautiful memories with Adam, hundreds of them, but I'm going to try and pick my top three. And I'll start with this. Chris and I first met Adam when we bought the little house on Magnolia Drive across the street. And Adam was a tiny child, 5 or 6 years old maybe. And he would come over and visit, and we made friends. At one point, Adam decided he wanted to spend the night, and he did. We made him a little pallet on the couch. And after a couple of hours, he came in and woke us up 2:30 in the morning and said, "Hey, I'm allergic to cats." We're like, "Well, you knew we had all these cats. Why did you wait until now to tell us this?" But at 2:30 in the morning, in his little tiny pajamas, I walked him back across the street, knocked on the door, and woke his mom up to say Adam is ready to come home. My second favorite memory of Adam is one day he came over. We had just gotten our house completely renovated, and we had this beautiful new stainless steel refrigerator. He reached up with his fingernails. We all know that Adam loves his fingernails. And he scratched down the front of our refrigerator and left this huge mark. And we said, "Adam, what did you do that for?" He said, "Well, I just wanted to see if it would leave a mark." And it did. Well, I'll tell you this. In January of, 2021, we bought a new refrigerator. And there was a part of me that was very, very sad to let that refrigerator go with Adam's little fingernail marks down it. Little did I know he had shown up to visit, and I told him that story, and I didn't know that would be the last time I would see him. My third favorite memory of Adam is the day that he came and surprised Amy. He came home from Chicago, and she didn't know he was coming. Philip helped him pull it off, and we lurked like creepers on our screen porch and watched across the street and saw the happy reunion and the video that came thereafter of Adam surprising Amy with a visit home from Chicago. I was very blessed and very grateful to have to travel to Chicago on a regular basis for work. And on a few of those occasions, I was able to meet up with Adam. We would have dinner and some drinks, and he hooked us up with tickets to Second City, and we had beautiful, wonderful visits. I've shared a few photographs of that, and I hope that you guys get to see some of those today. We loved that tiny child until he became a grown man. Chris and I miss him greatly, as I know all of you do. We're so grateful to have had Adam in our lives. We miss you, Adam, and love you very much. Bye-bye.